Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Standing Committee on Commerce has suggested that the Reserve Bank restore the practice of issuing letters of undertaking and letters of comfort with immediate effect. Now, just to put this into perspective, earlier this year, the RBI, in the aftermath of the Punjab National Bank fraud, had barred bankers from issuing these two instruments. So, letters of undertaking and letters of comfort are basically used in the form of credit guarantee by importers to avail credit from foreign branches of other Indian banks. Parikshit Luthra joins in now with the details. Parikshit, what was the Standing Committee's rationale behind this recommendation?
Well, the report of the Standing Committee was rather scathing for the government and the RBI. The title of the report was Impact of Banking Misappropriation on Trade and Industry. This report said that LOUs and letters of comfort were widely accepted bank instruments, not just in India, but globally. The RBI has encouraged them in the past. Efficacy of LOU and LOCs as a source of cost-effective short-term credit was unmatched. These are the exact quotes from the report. The report also, which was a unanimous report of all parliament members who were part of this committee, even went to the extent of saying that there was a knee-jerk reaction on the part of the government post the PNB scam. There was nervousness in the government, and therefore they went ahead and put a ban on LOUs and LOCs. All stakeholders, all banks who deposed before the committee went to the extent of saying that there was no fault with this entire process as such. So the committee has asked for immediate restoration of LOUs and LOCs with proper safeguards. Because they're saying that conservatism in the banking sector has had an impact on the industry and may have a cascading impact on jobs as well. They also said that the introduction of the credit rating system has deprived MSMEs from easy access to finance, and in times of currency depreciation, cost of credit for imports must be minimal. They also said that it seems that banking services in the country are becoming elitist and subservient to corporates. So very strong words there. And the reason why this report assumes significance is because it is a report which has been prepared by members of all political parties. You had members of the BJP, Congress, TMC, and members across party lines. These are only recommendations, but will put considerable pressure on the government. All stakeholders, all government officials, bankers who appeared before it have appeared and deposed on oath.
All right, Parikshit, thanks for joining in with that. Now, let's get you the latest in the bad loan resolution space. The National Company Law Appellate Tribunal today extended the deadline for submitting the revised bids for the debt-ridden Bhushan Power and Steel till the 13th of August. Now, the NCLAT also added a caveat that the bidders can now only submit bids that are unconditional. Remember, Tata Steel, Liberty House and JSW Steel are the three companies looking to buy Bhushan Power as well as steel. And here are some of the other stories that we've been tracking this evening. The Airport Authority of India, or the AAI, today won a 3,000 crore rupee arbitration case against two ground handling companies. The consortium had claimed that AAI deliberately breached ground handling rules since some airlines were outsourcing services to other players. Now, the court dismissed the claim, saying that AAI does not give exclusive rights to provide ground handling services, and thereby there is no rule to limit the number of ground handling service providers. Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that the scrappage policy for commercial vehicles older than 20 years will go through another round of consultation. That's according to directions given by the Prime Minister's office. The scrappage policy was proposed by the Road Ministry to phase out commercial vehicles that are more than 20 years old. Finance Ministry has accepted the Textile Ministry's recommendations to hike import duty on around 334 textile products by up to 20%. Now, this comes on the heels of the government already hiking import duty on 170 products. The duties could be enhanced to 20% from the current level of 5 to 10%. A notification is expected any time this week. Bihar's Muzaffarpur shelter home rape case rocked the parliament. Opposition demanded Home Minister Rajnath Singh's statement on the matter and later staged a walkout when the government did not concede to their demand. Congress MP Ranjit Ranjan along with RJD MP Jaiprakash Yadav alleged that evidence was being destroyed and the accused were being protected by the state government. Supreme Court has adjourned the hearing on petitions challenging the validity of Article 35A, which governs the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. This after one of the three judges of the bench hearing the matter was not present. CJI Deepak Mishra has said that article has been in vogue for 60 years, and a strike by lawyers cannot be the ground to speed up the hearing. The matter will now be heard in the week commencing the 27th of August. Now, the polls for Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman post is scheduled to take place on the 9th of August, and a crucial opposition meet is underway to spell out the strategy. Sources tell Network 18 that during the commencement of the monsoon session, Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu told members to build consensus for a candidate. He also had a word with Arun Jaitley and Ghulam Nabi Azad before announcing the dates. Pallavi Ghosh is here with more details on this. Pallavi, what is going on in the opposition huddle?
Well, in fact, the meeting has just ended, and there's going to be another round of meeting at around 1 o'clock tomorrow, essentially to, I think, firm up the names. But what the opposition, certainly after having won the election to a chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, which is a very important parliamentary committee, they now have tasted blood, so they really do want to now win the deputy chairperson's post, which is otherwise seen as a rather decorative post. But it's going to be a lot of number crunching game, because the two political parties which matter a lot is like the TRS as well as the BJD. And if they don't vote along with the opposition, then it may be difficult for them to get through the candidates. So several names coming up. Vandana Chavan, NCP Congress NCP leader, and Tiruchi Siva, who's from the DMK. These are the names which are initially doing the rounds. I think we'll get some more clarity sometime in the afternoon tomorrow.
All right, Pallavi, we'll have you back tomorrow afternoon once there is clarity on what is likely to transpire. Let's move on, though. The mystery over the Unique Identification Authority's helpline appearing on a address book of several mobile phones has finally been unravelled over the weekend. And the controversy goes back to a letter issued by the Department of Telecom in August 2013. What exactly does that mean? Megha Vishwanath joins in to explain. Megha, help us understand this mystery.
Now, last week, UIDAI found itself in the center of controversy when several users found an old UIDAI helpline number sitting in their phone books without their knowledge. This number was saved on the phone's memory and not the SIM card, which is an extremely important point to note. Just to quickly bring you up to speed, we at CNBC TV 18 unboxed brand new devices from different hardware makers and found that the contact list has two numbers. One was the UIDAI helpline number, and the second was an SOS 112 number pre-installed on these devices. While manufacturers were different, the OS was common, that is Android. Based on our story, we got an official statement from Google, the makers of Android, who took ownership for this inadvertent error and issued an official statement. Now, Google has been criticized for calling this an inadvertent error, and there are two parts to this story, so let me quickly break this down for you. First, based on our investigation, we found a letter in August 2013 by the Department of Telecommunication, or DOT, with a subject line that says mapping of shortcode 1947 owned by UIDAI. This letter essentially directed all telecom providers to map this shortcode. A quick explainer, mapping a shortcode meant that if you dial 1947 and hit the call button on your smartphone, it would redirect you to the 1800 UIDAI helpline number. We also found another mail thread that dates back to March 2014, which was sent by the Indian Cellular Association that said mobile handset makers will have to introduce an SOS button. This basically meant adding the 112 number as a shortkey, which we were talking about. Now, there might be other follow-up letters and directives based on which we've learned from our sources that several OEMs went back to Google for technical assistance. Now, my sources at Google tell me that the company misinterpreted these letters, and instead of simply adding a shortkey, they hard-coded both the numbers in the setup wizard. That is the UIDAI helpline number and the SOS number, which is why Google is claiming that this was an inadvertent error. Now, this brings us to the second part, that is UIDAI's official statement, where the authority emphasizes that they had not asked any agency whatsoever to include this helpline number in mobile phones. Clearly, this is wordplay, because one of the letters that I referred to earlier, that is the one that was dated in August 2013 from the DOT to various service providers, clearly directs all telecom providers to map the shortkey to UIDAI's helpline number. The letter further mentions that this is in continuation of an earlier request that UIDAI itself made back in 2010 to create the shortkey. So while UIDAI may now claim that they did not directly reach out to any agency, they did so via DOT. This is common practice, and therefore for UIDAI to now say it never requested for this to be done is incorrect. So directly or indirectly, at some point, UIDAI did want this helpline number to be pre-saved on your smartphones. We hope that this helps tie loose ends and puts an end to a mystery which shouldn't have been a mystery in the first place.
Well, that's a lot of Tech 101, Megha, but yes, that does put things into perspective. Thanks for joining in and explaining that entire saga for us. This is, of course, an issue that we have taken up, and we will take this up further over the course of the week. So we'll have Megha back to explain what that meant over on